All right, welcome back. Last one for the day. We've cleaned up the kitchen enough, anywho. So on to the baklava. Y'all want to? This is my new shirt. Nope, not today. Not today. Not any day, to be exact. I don't know why there's such a funny, I don't know, the tone looks funny. Hang on. Okay, well, the lens might have been dirty. Look it. I've done a lot of cooking today. Hang on, I'm going to turn this radio. Okay, I don't want to deal with that. All right, so what I did is my Pyrex dish broke, so I'm having to use this one. So I'm lining it with parchment paper because, no. All right, so this is one bag of walnuts that I put through my food processor with a teaspoon of some I have another bag of walnuts just in case these aren't enough, but I didn't want to chop them all up. So we'll see where we get, and if we need more, we'll make more. All right, so I've got this. I've got my butter. You need to have all your things ready spaghetti, okay? Because phyllo, don't play. This stuff dries out really super fast. And if you don't move quick, it'll just rip apart, basically, in your hands is what they say. So, let me get a damp towel, because we're going to want to put that on top of these while we're doing what we're doing. And it says for you to not open this up until you're ready to go. I am ready to go. Let me grab a damp towel. All right, now look at babies. If I got to tell you that this towel needs to be clean, you probably don't need to be cooking. I'm just saying. So, what they want us to do, I have never made baklava before. This should be interesting. All right. Let me unfold the sheets. This stuff is like paper thin. So what it wants us to do is 2 at a time. You put 2 sheets down, cover it with butter, 2 sheets down, cover it with butter until we get 8 sheets for the bottom. Okay? All right. Now, let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. This is already tore, so let me get them in the pan. All right, we're going to try to do this for you all. You see how these are paper thin. So put your first one in the bottom. There's 2. Make sure they fit. Cover. See how that works? Cover. Then we're going to take our melted butter, okay, and we're going to brush it all over the phyllo dough. Because this is what's going to make it nice and crispy. So it's always going to be 2 phyllo sheets butter, 2 phyllo sheets butter, right? We'll get to the 8th sheet, and then we'll start adding the nut mixture. When I get this buttered, I'll show you the inside of it so you see. You need to make sure you cover it in butter, because if you don't, it won't get crispy. And we'll push this down as it goes. All right. Ready? See how that looks? It's all covered in butter. We're going to do that 3 more times, and that will be 8 layers. All right, we've got our 8th layer in, so now we're basically going to start sprinkling with the nut mixture. It says like 1 to 2 tablespoons. You do you, boo. You want a nice, there's going to be a bunch of these layers, basically, so sorry for that. People are probably trying to text me. Again, this is just walnuts and some, it says you can use pecans or pistachios or whatever. But you want a nice little layer like these. Oh, look at that. Yes. All right, we're going to put down 2 more sheets of phyllo and then walnuts again. Be careful with this. This stuff is paper thin. You've really got to make sure that you only get 2 and just be real careful with it. These aren't lined up, so I'm going to line them up because I can't. There we go. Can't do it. Can't do it. All right. And then just real careful and real gentle because this stuff rips real easily. Now, it says you can trim the phyllo dough to fit. I ain't going to do it because I don't want to, kind of thing. Cover that up immediately with that damp towel. Don't make it sopping wet now, y'all. You make it wet, that's, you know what damp means, right? Everybody knows what damp means. Okay. All right. Brush with butter. That way you can kind of see me do it. Be gentle with this part because this dough will kind of move and it'll rip pretty easy. So if you're not Greek and not used to working with phyllo, be careful. This is my first time. I'll just be honest with you. I have never worked with phyllo dough before. I've never even tried baklava. What about that? What about that? I mean, it looks good, and I love all the things that are in it. And it just looks impressive as hell. I'm just saying. There we go. Then we're going to do nuts again. The real secret with this comes after everything's done baking, which is the sauce that we put over it, which I thought it baked with it. It doesn't. It's an after-the-fact kind of thing, which is just cool to me. I don't get it. We'll get this as many layers as we can. All right, you know what that looks like. We're going to do that till we run out of stuff. All right, now we are all done with the assembly part. Now, I ended up using one roll and then 8 sheets out of the second roll. So I'm actually just going to roll this right back up. Put it back in its little container. Worst off, I can just chop it up and use it for some more kanoff because, you know, we'll be doing that again. Now, the key with this is get a really super sharp knife, and we're actually going to cut it before we bake it. So y'all pray for me that we don't screw this up. I'll be right back. Cutting it was no easy feat. They ain't lying when they tell you need a sharp knife. Here it is. In the oven she goes for about 30 to 45, or actually 45 to 50 minutes. This all needs to be nice and golden brown all the way through. Then we'll make the syrup. Okay, look it. We're 8 minutes in. There's going to be a part 2, so come back.